everyone, this is Anisha Sharma, intern at LexClick and Company, and this video is on fundamental rights that is guaranteed by the Constitution of India. We will be also discussing some new judicial trends in the interpretation of Part 3, that is the fundamental rights. So first of all, let us discuss the history of fundamental rights. So the first document that talked about fundamental rights was Magna Carta, that was written by King John of England. The next was Bill of Rights, that was also in England in 1689. The third is Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen, that was in France in 1789. The fourth is Bill of Rights, which was in the in the American Constitution, and the concept of fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution has been derived from this American Constitution's Bill of Rights only. So the Bill of Rights of the American Constitution have been a backbone in the fundamental rights for the fundamental rights of Indian Constitution. Talking about the features of fundamental rights, first feature would be that fundamental rights are justiciable. That means that in case there is an infringement of fundamental rights, a person can approach Supreme Court or High Court for the enforcement of fundamental rights. Second is that it is taken from the Constitution of USA, as we have already discussed. Third is that they are not absolute but qualified. It means that the state can impose restrictions on the fundamental rights. They are not absolute, but the restrictions that has been imposed by the state should be justiciable, it should be reasonable and qualified. The fourth point is that the fundamental rights are not permanent. Not being permanent means that they can be amendment by any constitutional amendment, but this amendment should not infringe the basic structure of the Constitution of India. The fifth point is that they can be suspended during a national emergency, but Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended. The next point is that they cannot be enforced against any private individual. They can be enforced against the state only. Talking about the new judicial trends in the interpretation of Part 3, the first point would be that the court has given the widest interpretation to the provisions of Part 3. In Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, the Apex Court has stated that Part 3 should be given the widest interpretation. Talking about whether the rights, the fundamental rights are exclusive or inclusive, or whether the fundamental rights are interrelated or not, or should a fundamental right be specifically mentioned. So in the Gopalan's case, A.K. Gopalan, the court has stated that the fundamental rights are exclusive. That is, there is no relation between the fundamental rights. But this case was overruled in the Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, and the court stated that no, these rights are inclusive and all the fundamental rights form a part of a single scheme of the Constitution. And also stated that it is not necessary that a specific right should be mentioned in the Constitution. For example, a right to travel abroad or speedy trial, free legal aid, protection of prisoners, all these rights are nowhere specifically mentioned, but they all form a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The next would be that the second point on the new judicial trends in the interpretation would be that natural justice and due process of law should be followed. This was stated by Supreme Court in Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, and the court stated that the procedure depriving a person from his life and personal liberty must be fair, justified, and should satisfy the principles of natural justice. The third point talks about the prisoner's right and prison reforms. it says that the prisoners are also humans and they should not be treated as slaves. Also, the punishment of solitary confinement or the punishment in which there is rigorous imprisonment should be given to a prisoner only by the sanction of court, and the speedy trial or legal aid to poor should not be dependent on the mercy of the courts or the state. It should be a right of a person to for speedy trial and free legal aid in case he cannot afford. The fourth point is expanding role of writ of habeas corpus. So the High Court has stated that the writ of habeas corpus should not be issued only in case when a person is wrongfully detained, but it can also be issued when a person is treated inhumanly. So, in the case of Sunil Batra versus Delhi administration, a prisoner has informed the court that another prisoner was being treated inhumanly, and the court has converted this information letter into a writ petition, and the court has asked the authorities to release the person and from that punishment cell, and to not take any further action until and unless the fair trial is completed. Thank you.